Yeah. It seems like a dope pickup line too, like just bring laptops to a bar. Like ladies are like, what are you doing? I wouldn't ask that. Oh. All right, so on the count of three, I want you to shout out your favorite breakfast cereal. Okay? On the count of three. 1, 2, 3. Hey, you didn't say anything. Who are you texting? Your boyfriend? That's so cute. That's so junior high. That's so nice. Oh, what did you text him? What did you text him?
Just that I didn't pick him up.
Oh, you're gonna pick him up? Did you emoticon it? Because that's when it's legit. When you emoticon it, right? On the count of three, shout out your favorite movie. Okay, on the count of three. 1, 2, 3. Yo, who said Shawshank? That's so good. That's a movie like if it's on a Saturday and it's like 2 o'clock, you stop and you watch and you have a good cry. You know what I'm talking about? It's like Shawshank. What were some other ones? What was your guys over here? Favorite movies?
Reality Bites.
Reality Bites? Good, yeah.
Trainspotting.
What was that?
Trainspotting.
Trainspotting. Very good, yeah.
Air Bud.
Air Bud? It's a good movie. It's a really.
I'm a dog guy.
You're a dog guy? You're a kid from the 90s. You love that movie, right? Like Angels in the Outfield. On the count of three, okay. I want to engage this group over here. On the count of three, I want you to shout out your teenage crush, like your celebrity teenage crush when you were growing up. Okay? Yeah. Take a second. Take a second. Go through it. Go through it. Who's got? You got it? On the count of three. 1, 2, 3. James Vanderbeek? Dawson? Oh, sad Dawson. Oh man, he was so sad all the time.
Yeah, it's fine. It's emotional.
It's emotional? I just felt like if I was a girl and I was dating me, he would just cry at any moment. Like he'd walk in a room and be like, I'm so sad. He just like rub the carpet. Like that's what I used to feel. I'm sorry. What? He's a little puppy? I was a pacey guy. I'm Joshua Jackson. Oh my god, that guy's so dreamy. Mighty Ducks? I would shout out Joshua Jackson. What? No. Okay. So thanks for shouting that out. Is anyone here? I want to know the audience I'm working with. Is anyone here really excited for something this weekend? Like they're doing something. They're going. What are you shouting out? It's Wow Fest? And what's Wow Fest? The Magic Festival? And what's involved with like there's card tricks and like ninjas pop out and like slice a girl in half or something? There's gonna be a ninja that slices a girl in half? Did you just make that promise? She's super excited. And he's gonna pull off his mask and it's James Vanderbeek crying. I just wish you did that. Is anyone else, you have your hand up over here?
Heading to Vegas.
You're heading to Vegas, nice. For what reason?
SharePoint.
SharePoint? I don't know what that is. Is that Amway or something? I don't know. What is SharePoint?
It's software.
It's a software? It's a software conference. Oh. So like what happens in Vegas with like SharePoint? Like they're just like do like calculations on TI-83? Like I don't know. I'm not sure. Pretty much? Got it. Cool. Alright, so my name is Andrew Phung. I gotta go because you guys texting me. So like Donna said, I'm the Director of Special Projects at Youth Central, and I work at getting young people engaged and involved in the community. On the other side of things, I'm a performer at the Loose Moose Theater Company. I joined when I was in high school, and I'll tell you that story, but today I want to be talking about video content, and the ironic thing is I can't play any of the videos I put together, so I had to stand back there for 5 minutes and just figure out what am I going to do, how am I going to improvise through this, so like I'm all adrenaline right now, alright? So, but what I'll do when I get home is I'll take the videos I was going to show. It's compressed into one long video, upload it to YouTube, and it'll be on my Twitter at Andrew Phung. Or if you want to shoot me an email, I will send you a link to it as well. So that it will be there. But I'll just stick to the key messages a bit. I will be talking about videos today, and I've been the actor in videos, and I've been the filmmaker in videos before. And I'm just going to share with you my experiences and some of the things I've learned that I could do well or not so well that I need to improve on while making videos. Some of you may disagree with me. These are just my own learnings. I look at this room and I saw the list of people attending and I was just like, wow, look at these people, they're so amazing. So you may disagree. In my mind, there's no right or wrong answers. there's just obvious ones. And there's obvious ones to me in different situations, and we've been in different situations. So I hope the lessons I've learned and share with you today help you. And afterwards, please feel free to ask questions. So I joined the Loose Moose Theater when I was in high school. I was 16, and I went to my first improv show, and I was like a typical 16-year-old. I was like super nervous. I was about the same height now as I was then, and like I was really shy, and I was always worried about like what to do like 2 steps from now. I was never in the moment. I couldn't talk to girls. I was so nervous about it. I was like super pimply, and I was like sweating all the time. You know what I'm talking about, right? And I saw my first improv show, and it totally hit me. It totally connected to me. And I remember seeing the performers on stage, and I thought that they were so cool, and they were so there, and they were so present. So I started doing these classes at the Loose Moose Theater, and it taught me to be in the moment, and it taught me to connect to my partner. It taught me to calm down and just think and be normal, and to be average. And by doing so, it helped me just unleash creativity in my head. And it helped me learn this. Everything and everyone around you should inspire you. Everything and everyone around you is a gift. Take it. So before, when I would walk in a situation like this, like a public speaker, just being in front of people, doing drama in school, I was so nervous about what to do next. And I learned just to take it. It's all a gift, and you react to it. So this was me in high school. And soon after I joined the Loose Moose Theater, I started making videos with my friends. And this was like 2001, 2000. And this is when Jackass and Tom Green had like this was like the new thing. It had just come out. So we like borrowed a camera from the Comtech lab. And you gotta think cameras in like 2000, 2001, like they were the size of like a small Honda Civic. Like they were just gigantic cameras. And there was like no HD. It was just barely D. Like it was so pixelated and grainy. And there's like, you didn't have like, there wasn't like, you couldn't like throw it up in an iMovie and edit it. Like you had to edit it on the camera. And the goal was to always get it right the first time. So we used to take these movies and we would try to make shorts. And we would like be in a location on a Friday or Saturday night and we'd be like, let's make this short. And we would make it and we'd watch it back and it was really only funny to us. And it usually involved like terrible like inside references and jokes. So it was like short films we would try to make. We would sometimes, we were really into pro wrestling. So we would find like plywood at construction sites in the Northeast. And we would like take them to my friend's backyard and we would wrestle and record it and like be like, oh, this is so amazing. But it looked terrible because we were so unathletic and it was just shaky camera footage. So we would make these movies in high school and they were just for us. This was a time before YouTube and sharing on the internet. This is when you had to dial in for the internet most of the time. And it was just really fun doing it with my friends. I don't know if I connect to anybody there, but I don't know if anyone here made movies with their friends growing up. That's like one of the best things. I went back and rewatched some of them recently, and they're so bad. They're so terrible. They're awkward, and like we're just like teenage kids trying to do characters. But like it brings you back to a time where like all you cared about was making movies with your friends. So flash forward to 2007, 2006. We still made movies, but the camera technology had changed, and DSLRs, so Canon cameras, were starting to come out with video capabilities. You could shoot amazing video quality on these cameras you buy for photos. So we would take these cameras and we would sometimes have an audio recorder and a tripod, like a $30 tripod being held together with duct tape. And my friends and I, we would go out and make shorts, and we formed a crew called Science Bear. And Science Bear was 2 groups of friends, both from the Northeast, from opposite sides of McKnight, and that's what joined us. The heart of McKnight. We would meet there. So one side was like the John 23rd Bishop McNally kids. And on the other side was the Pearson kids. And I remember the first time meeting, like it was kind of hostile, like, hey, what's up? And we would try to find like common ground, and like that's so different. That's on the other side of McKnight. And like eventually, we pulled it all together, and we became friends, and we started making these short films. And we did so with the Calgary Underground Film Festival, because they have these 48-hour film challenges, where they give you a line of dialogue and a topic or a prop you have to use in the films. And all we would do is we would take the camera, take all the stuff, we'd have 48 hours to do it. And we'd go out there and we'd just like bust our ass doing it. We would come up with the concept, we'd sit probably at a bar or something, and we'd like shoot all these crazy ideas. And I remember one of the first years we did it, we had a friend named Juan, and he had broken his ankle. And we were trying to incorporate him into the video. And we were just like, what can we do, what can we do? We were really into puns. So one guy's like, hey, instead of entourage, what about Wantourage? We sat there, we're like, okay, hold on. And we brainstormed for another 20 minutes, and we just thought, we're like, these are all stupid, we should do Wantourage. So we made Wantourage around our friend having a broken ankle. And it was so much fun, it was so ridiculous. And halfway through, I was like, hey guys, I got a broken plasma TV, wanna smash it? And they're like, yes! So then we had to write Wantourage around smashing a TV halfway through of it. And it was, I look back and I go back and watch it, and I show my wife this, and I'm like, hey, isn't it super funny? And she's like, yeah, it's all right, it's Wantourage, I get it. Like, I keep hammering the joke in. And that was one of our first movies, and we really enjoyed making it, and it was just that, it was just making movies. And over time, we made more and more of these films, and we kind of refined the process a little more each time. We got better at being on camera, we got better at editing the videos, putting audio into them. We got better at following the rules, because sometimes we break the rules in these competitions. And towards the tail end of it, we made a film, and it goes back to a pun, but we were watching the Facebook movie trailer, and someone's like, hey, wouldn't it be really fun if we made like a Facebook spoof movie trailer, but with McDonald's? So we made the McNetwork. And right now I'd show you the McNetwork. And all the Mark Zuckerberg was replaced by Ronald McDonald, and all the characters were replaced by people in a McDonald's world. And instead of like, you stole Facebook, it's like, you stole the Big Mac. And like, that was the big thing. And we're really proud of that film because like that's when it kind of all came together. All the pieces came together for us. We were always just like, we were just like 20-year-olds who loved making films. We really looked forward to this. We would take our DSLRs and we would shoot it, and we didn't really worry about the quality of it. And then we started getting this recognition as this comedy group that we were making these viral videos. You're making viral videos because it would get picked up and tweeted and shared. And for us, it was just like, we just wanted to make videos. These stupid ideas we would have one night, I'd be like, hey Jeff, do you want to come over and shoot this? Yeah, let's shoot this. So that's all we ever wanted to do. And then a little while later, the High Performance Rodeo. Do you guys know the High Performance Rodeo? You guys heard of it? So they put it on. Yeah, give them a round of applause. No, that's cool. Yeah. A few people. You support the arts or not, whatever. The High Performance Rodeo came around. They're like, hey, so they emailed Science Bear, and they were so respectful to us. And like, I'm not sure they knew we were just like 6 dudes who just like hung out. And they emailed us. And they're like, hey, we want you to make some viral videos for us. And they brought us in and they met with us and they said, there's a show we're bringing called Lucha Vavoom. And Lucha Vavoom is going to be luchadors, burlesque, comedy, and drinking alcohol. And they told us that. We're like, this is amazing! What are you doing? You're bringing this to Calgary? This is awesome! And then they sat us in the room and they're telling us this and like, we want you to make videos for it. We're like, we will totally make videos for this. What do you want? And they would tell us the ideas they want. They're like, and we'll give you money. And we're like, what? No! Don't give us money? That's stupid. Don't give us money. Don't give us money. And they're like, no, we'll give you a budget to make these videos. And we were in this moment where like, we walked away from the meeting. We're like, what? We can make money doing this? You will pay us to do this? And so we gathered the whole group. And Science Fair at that point was 6 people, up to 10 people, because our mentality was the more the merrier. If like someone showed up that was interested in helping out, we would bring them in. If you showed up and you're like, I want to help you make videos, we'd bring you in. So I remember that night there was 8 of us, and we met up at my place. And we were coming up with ideas, like I said, the show. Luchadors, burlesque, comedy, drinking beer. They wanted people to attend 2 nights of this event. And we were writing down ideas like super professionally. And myself and my friend Derek left the room, and we got these luchador masks and took off our clothes. We came back in the room and we started wrestling each other in the middle of the room. And this is a normal thing we do, just like this FYI. It's super normal. Just Science Bear hanging out, okay? And I remember we got into these characters and like, we were luchadors, we were like, yes, I am a luchador from Mexico. And we'd wrestle, we'd slap each other a little bit. And then we realized right there, like, these are the characters. These are the characters we need to create. We need to create 2 luchadors that have arrived into Calgary. They're taking over, but they're bitter enemies based on some reason in Mexico, right? And they grew up there and they wrestle there. They're bringing their rivalry to Calgary, the home of Stampede Wrestling, the home of the Hart family, to finish the feud. And we came up with that idea. It's kind of like Spy versus Spy. And we pitched the idea of the High Performance Rodeo, and they're like, yeah, that sounds great, do it. So we made 10 videos for them, and we approached them the same way. Anyone who wanted to be in them could be in them. We came up with these concepts, and we would go around town. We're like, what's really funny? What can we do? So we shot things at like the Big 4 building, because that's where the event was going to be. We went to art galleries. They were occupying Calgary at one point. Do you guys remember that? Like people would occupy Calgary and like hang out. And so we showed up and occupied Calgary with them, and we like hung out in their tents for a little bit. It was super shitty stuff. I don't remember. It was super weird. And we hung out with them, and we recorded all these videos, and like we would put them into shorts. And then we even put the luchadors, like they're celebrating Christmas and giving each other Christmas presents. And the thing that always happened was one luchador would attack the other luchador right at the end of it. Spy versus Spy. And so we made these videos, and we submitted it to them, and they released them, and the show sold out. Both shows sold out. We were really pumped about it. They gave us the money, and the whole time we're like, you're gonna give us money. And they gave us a check. We're like, what? And even when we got the money into the bank, we were so pumped. I didn't even know what to do with it. Like, I waited on it. I'm like, are they gonna take this money away? So like I took the money and I spent it right away. Like I bought sneakers right away. Like right away, I bought whatever I could. I'm like, they can't take these away from me now. And so after this video series, for me, I always go back and I look at what I do. And that's just the loose moose thing. That's just something from improv. Like every improv show growing up, I would finish the show and do notes with my artistic director and the other company members. And I'm that type of person that will like record their shows and go back and watch it and put myself through that pain and torture to watch themselves speak and do things. Just because for me, like that is the only way I get better. So I go back and I watch these shorts, and I did it for this as well, and there's a few things I learned. The first one is, when you make short videos, when you make video content for the internet or to share, create characters. Have good, strong characters in your videos. To me, sometimes people say, like, I have a really good idea, and it's based around like a joke. But to me, I think you should base your videos and your online content around people and characters. That's what they care about. You know the Rogers commercials? The cool Rogers guy? It's okay, that's okay, no one noticed. There's the cool Rogers guy, and there's like the nerdy Rogers guy, the one who doesn't have a Rogers phone. He's always like left in the rain. You guys know what I'm talking about? Yeah. So that's like a loose moose guy. And whenever he comes to Calgary, we go out for breakfast, we hang out, and I just like suffer his pain because like whenever we're out places, like people are like, hey, are you the Rogers guy? Are you the Rogers? And he's like, yes, I'm the Rogers guy. And they always like make the joke, you should just get a Rogers phone. Why do that to yourself? And he's like, no, I get it. And he's like a Rogers customer, and he's like, I get it. Okay, thank you guys. Like, I see that, but like, that's recognition wherever, right? Those characters make those commercials. Like, you know what the kind of joke's gonna be. They build it around those characters. To me, characters are so important. And for us, El Gol Fantastico, the hero, and El Diablo, the villain, kind of carried those videos. It was the rivalry, it was the characters, and everything else kind of fell away. So to me, something I always keep in mind when I write videos and put them together is I always try to create really strong characters. The second thing is, yeah, got it. In Sync. I want to drop a Justin Timberlake reference here. In Sync. So with those luchador videos, sometimes, like, if you think about the content of a video, right? There's a content of the video and there's a call to action at the end. So for the people in this room, for your guys' interest, you probably have a call to action, whether to go back to your business, to check out the website, check out your Twitter, enter your contest, buy something, right? There'll be a call to action. And then there's a content in the video. And for us on Lucha Vavoom, a lot of times, the content in the videos only kind of synced up with the call to action. So the call to action was always, go buy tickets to this event. But the stuff in the middle, or the content in the video, wasn't always there. And I think showing it to viewers now and asking people for their feedback, they're like, oh, this is really funny. I get that these luchadors are wrestling each other. but I don't know what that really relates to coming to the event. Are they going to finish their rivalry at the event? Will they be at the event? Are there other luchadors that are going to be at the event? Sometimes I think people had questions with that. So your message needs to be in sync, whether it's your content in your video and then your call to action afterwards. The third thing we learned was put someone in charge. This has always been really hard for us. So I don't know how you guys will approach videos later on. I don't know if you work collaboratively. I don't know if you're bringing a creative crew. But for us, like I said with Science Bear, it was always like 6 of us or 8 of us or 10 of us. One point there was 12 of us in a room just coming up with these ideas. And there was never anyone in charge. It was always, okay, this is Wantourage is the best idea on the table. We all agree we're going to do it, right? And we just went with it. It just kind of always fixed itself. It solved itself. But something that happened on Lucha Vavoom was there was money in the mix now. And there was a client. And there was these actual responsibilities. See, before, if we made a movie, we made a short film, we made a clip for online use that was not good, then it wasn't good. It would be sacrificed to the viral video gods, and it would just die up there. And we would pull it up 5 years later and be like, oh, this is amazing. Haha. And we'll watch it, we'll put it away, and we'll watch it again 5 years later. Right? But now, there's something at stake. There were stakes in the mix. And because we didn't have someone in charge, feelings got hurt between people, between members. So, what's your name? Derek. You're a handsome man. Oh, thank you. So if we had an idea, we would debate back and forth, who makes the final say? And sometimes it would be based on like vote and people siding. I think that hurt people's feelings. So put someone in charge. Always leave someone in charge if you're working collaboratively. Last thing, I might get some flack on this one. So viral videos. You guys are dialed in on viral videos, right? What's your favorite like viral video? Does anyone have like a favorite?
Leroy Jenkins.
Leroy Jenkins? Stormtroopers? Twerking Stormtroopers? It's awesome? Is it just Stormtroopers twerking? That really kind of makes me sad a little bit. It's amazing. Okay, what else? What are some other favorites? Yeah.
The T-Mobile one in the Heathrow Airport.
Oh, the love one, and oh, that everyone sings. That's so good. That's a crier. That's like a Christian Lion. That's a crier, right? What Shit Girls Say? That's a good one. Classic. Classic. What else? Fails. Anytime anyone gets hit in like this region here for me, that's a great viral video, right? Anything else? Double Rainbow. That's a really nice one.
WestJet.
WestJet. That's a good one. The Unicorn in Banff? What's the Unicorn in Banff? No, I've never seen Unicorn in Banff. We need to pull that up. This is the majority of science fair meetings. Be like, you haven't seen it? Pull it up now. Side note, technology has ruined my sleep habits because like sometimes at like 12:30, I'll be with my wife, we'll be debating something, and I'm like, no, you're wrong. And we look it up, and then you spend like half an hour on Wikipedia. You know what I'm talking about. You start with one vine, and you end up like 20 vines later, right? But, so, I want to challenge the idea of these viral videos. And so, I get asked a lot, like, just in my work now, via email, people email, clients will ask me like, hey, we want to make a viral video. We want to make a viral video. Raise your hand if you guys have had that, like you've asked that before. You wanted to make a viral video, right? So I challenge that a little bit. Let's look at the word viral, okay? Viral is based on the word virus. It's a negative word, okay? Now in improvisation and improv, when I start a scene, my goal always, if I have a choice, be positive, right? If I have a choice, be positive. Someone walks in the room like, hey, you want a cup of coffee? No! You want to go to the mall? No! You would avoid saying those things. You know, you would start scene and you would say, hey, how you doing today? You know, you're a really great student. Like, you would say really positive things. So, improv taught me to be positive, and I think of the word viral. That's a negative word, right? A viral video, viral. That's like going up to someone and being like, I'm going to give you a viral infection, right? Yo, Wurst, this food is so good, I'm going to get food poisoning, right? Like, isn't that like kind of like what you want to say, like viral? That's the negative thing. So I challenge that a bit. I don't think the goal is to create a viral video. I think your goal always is to produce good videos. Good videos with solid content, a strong call to action that will encourage and make people share it with their friends. Good videos at the core allow you to share it. It encourages you to share it, right? And like, I always get asked that question, like viral. There's always something about that word that bugged me. See, if you go out with your goal of making a viral video, your product may be mediocre. I think you lose sight of what you want to do. But if your goal always is to produce good videos with strong content and a great call to action, if it doesn't go viral, you still have a really good video. So I challenge the word viral, and I think as a goal, people should just make really good videos. So after Lucha Vavoom, we learned all these things. And a little while later, I was working with my friend Scott, and he runs a production company out of Edmonton called Town & Films. And that's the company I primarily work for in regards to videos. And he got approached because of stuff with Science Bear and Lucha Vavoom to make viral videos for sustainability, right? At the U of C and the U of A. Super dry content, it's about recycling. So we took a step back, and this time we formed a team of 3. It was 3 of us from Science Bear. It was the 3 people that were most interested in doing it. And we set one person in charge. Scott was always in charge. We agreed on it. So if he had to make a decision, he would make a decision, and we would have no hurt feelings because of it, right? So with sustainability, we created 2 sets of characters, the UC and the U of A. For the U of A, we created the tough guys of sustainability. And these guys would be tough, kind of like Tony Danza tough, like, hey, oh, hey, recycle. And they would go around, and they would like hassle people, but not too rough, because a couple times we did it, and they're like, we think you're bullying them, so we had to like tone it back a little bit, and they're the tough guys of sustainability. And then for the U of C, we created like the older student, the one who takes the full 10 years to do a degree. And you guys know what I'm talking about, right? And then we had like the frosh student, like the really young. And the older student would always give tips on like how to be sustainable in the environment. And we made videos for them, and we made videos, probably like 16 videos between the 2 universities. And we made them so they were neutral, so they could be used anywhere. And the thing for us that worked out really well, the things that we learned were 3 things. First, length. Length doesn't matter. Mix up the length. So, have you guys heard that rule where people talk about videos online having to be, like, they have to be under a minute, right? I don't know, I go through my Facebook feed and I'm seeing a lot of videos that are like 5, 6 minutes, 7 minutes, and I'm watching them right now, right? So I think our consumer habits have changed. I don't know if we need to stick under a minute. I think if you can go under a minute, go ahead. But I think the video length of your video should be appropriate to the content and to your call to action. If you require 3 minutes, then maybe try to get down to 2 minutes and 2 minutes and a half. Right? If your video needs 10 minutes, get down to 9. If it fits under a minute, then keep it under a minute. But switch up the length. For the U of C and U of A, we made a bunch of different length videos. Some were under a minute, some were a minute and a half, some were 2, I think a couple are 4 or 5, and those carry more content within them. Right? So mix it up. Next one is spread it your way. So I want to take off this pressure of this idea of going viral. You put it on Facebook and Twitter, and you hope it explodes. You just share it through through Google, and it just goes. With the U of C and U of A, we changed their expectations, and we said, we don't want to just make viral videos. We want to make good videos for you to share on your own. And hopefully, it has the potential to go viral. It might, but if it doesn't, it's okay. You'll share it your way. So, we gave them the videos, and even before worrying about it going viral, they shared it their way. They would put it on the screens at their football games and their basketball games. They would put it on the screens at Mac Hall and Student Center at the U of A. They shared it their way. They played it during Frosh Week in the first week of Res, and they played for those videos for sometimes 2,000 or 3,000 students. They shared it their way, and the feedback for them was great. They really enjoyed it. The next thing I learned, and this is for me, this is a huge deal. I talked earlier about being inspired by everything and everyone around you. I think that's really important. Even here right now, all of you guys here, I'm just inspired in this space to move around. I really just want to get on these tables and just run across the floor. I really want to get that. Or just like, and I want to, no, don't make me do it. That's terrible.
Don't do it, not right now.
Not right now. Or I would like to see if there's a gap between the tables, if you could grease someone enough that they could slide and make that jump. Let's do that tonight. Let's come back tonight, 10 o'clock and do that. But you're inspired by everything and everyone around you. And the one thing that I really regret about the U of A and U of C sustainability projects, and the one thing I wish we did more was, I think because they're education institutions, they didn't let us play as much. They would give us like all this jargon we had to use in the videos, and the more jargon and words you have to use, the less the words mean, right? The less the video could be interesting. We had to incorporate all these things to the point where at one point in the videos, we included in a reference like, that's a lot of information for you just to know offhand, and just like pan to the camera, right? Just to play off that joke, because we knew all this information. It was kind of weird. We had to reference that, but allow people to play. If you hire a creative agency or a group to make your videos, give them the freedom to play. Tell them your call to action, your key message you want the viewer to walk away with, but then just be hands off and see what they come up with. If you give them too many parameters or rules, then you might as well just do it yourself, because you kind of know. And then with your actors, give them room to play. If you hire a group of actors to be in this, or people that you know or clients, give them room to play. I think the feedback and the results will be even better. I do this. I'm the actor for corporate videos for Synovus, and I would never even be able to show them. They're all internal. But one of the things that was in the script that wasn't there was, so I looked at the script and it's so boring. It's like Synovus legal talk, right? And even the guy who gave it to me, he's like, I'm so sorry, it's really boring. Like, it's just like, these are internal videos. They're gonna be for training in like viruses and phishing emails and like how to store your hard drives. And I'm like, oh, okay. And he's like, but you can totally play. I was like, okay. So the cool thing about working with them is half the takes we do, I stick to the scripts. And the other half, he lets me play. And so I still have to stick to the script, but I do it my way. And one of the character traits I put in was, so Synovus has like this coffee machine that's like the size of like this, but double. And like you press all these buttons and there's a screen and it like shoots out whatever you want. So it's like, I want this coffee with this flavor and boom, right? Like, I want a baby with a sundae. And it's like, boom, the baby with the sundae comes out. Like, that's like, it's so amazing. And I got there for the shoot and I was like, I don't even drink coffee, and I would just press all the buttons and it'd be like, yeah, coffee's coming out of it. This is amazing. And I was like, yes. I would just give it to people. And so then, in between takes, I remember they set up my office and I'll be like, hey guys, I'll be right back. And if you've ever been on a set to shoot anything, like you wait an hour to shoot like 2 minutes of footage. So every like few minutes I'd come back with like a new cup of coffee and I would leave it on my desk. Like I hope they didn't notice. And I'd bring like more and more. And eventually like my whole desk was just filled with coffee. And they didn't really notice, so I just did a take with all the coffee there and I was super wired like that. And throughout like towards the end, we were in trouble for not storing our drives properly, and I would just look at them and be like, just like reacting the whole time. And like at the end of the day, there was no way to end it, right? I just like threw them like, I gotta get some coffee. And like I would just leave the room, where like one take was like, you two should talk about your dating issues. It's getting awkward for me, and I would leave. And the guy's like, where'd that even come from? I'm like, I don't know. So like I threw that in, and so I was at Synovus. I put that we put those like little tidbits in like all the videos. And we've done like 4 of them. And I showed up at the Synovus building last week to do a voiceover. And I get in there, and a security guard just looks at me. He's like, do you want some coffee? And I was like, what? And I was like, this is amazing. Going up the elevator, another girl's just like looking at me. She's like, are you the coffee guy? And I'm like, I am. Thank you. Get up to the floor where I have to do the voiceover. I go in. And then the guy, like my producer of the videos, Ryan's like, hey, Andrew's here. And 3 people in the cubicles hold up their cups and like, hey, Andrew, how you doing? You want some coffee? And then I had to do my voiceover near the coffee machine, because that's where I was. And like, as I'm doing my voiceover and they're recording, a guy walks by and he's like, look at you, coffee right away. So like, let the performers play. Stuff comes out that you never know would come out. And that's a thing now. It's the feedback Ryan's got for those videos that they said they're the best corporate videos they've seen internally because there's this element of fun. The call to action is there, legal jargon is there, but because you let the performers play, cool stuff comes out. I don't know about you guys, and like, raise your hand if you're like really scared of public speaking. Is that a fear for some? Are you scared? Raise your hand if you're scared of raising your hand. Like, no, it's just so hesitant. But I think for me, like, you guys seem like people who are busybodies. Like you're on your phone all the time. You're answering emails. You're really busy people. And I don't know if you feel the same way, but for me, I do my best work when I'm like the most busy. When I got like 5 things on the go. I'm just like, I need to be in so many different places. I don't even have to think about it. I just do it, right? And that's when you let your performers play and you don't worry about it. The best things come out. So. One video, check out my Twitter, I will post. This is the most recent video we did. We did another campaign for the U of A, and for them this time it was academic integrity. Ooh, it was like suspending kids and like plagiarism. And when they brought it to us, I was just like, I don't know, man. This seems like a dark subject. And then the people said this. They're like, you can do whatever you want. Anything. We're like, what? Anything? And they're like, yep, just your end message needs to be this, and you can do whatever you want. And I was like, Scott, we should do a rap video. And he's like, no, not the rap video. Now, to bring it back to Science Bear, a big element of Science Bear was getting together and eating terribly. Because we would like order, like we would get McDonald's and we would eat, we'd hang out. And one year McDonald's came out with a Big Mac snack wrap. You guys remember that? They tried to take a Big Mac and make it healthy in a wrap, right? And then, so we were really inspired one day and we wrote the Big Mac snack wrap. Okay? And so we wanted to like shoot like super gritty like Northeast. And I can't play you the video. I wouldn't be able to play it anyways because the language is so terrible. But the hook was, and I apologize already, it's a Big Mac snack wrap. A quick fix of McDicks when you got asses to tap. Want a healthy option with no salad to toss? It's beef patties, pickles, lettuce, cheese, and special sauce. Ha ha! Big Mac snack wrap. That was our rap. And so we had made it, and like that was like for me, that's one of my favorite videos, just because like we made a rap video at McDonald's. There's a theme. We made a lot of videos about McDonald's, okay? The network, the Big Mac snack wrap. But I was like, Scott, we need to make a rap video. And he's like, I don't know if they'll go for it. We sent it into them. They're like, we totally go for it. So we're like, what do we do now? And this is where we go back to like the previous thing I was talking about like letting people play. We hired 2 MCs out of Edmonton, and we're like, do it. And we came up with a concept together, and the end message was plagiarism. So it was 2 hip-hop artists sitting in their desks at school, and they would rap lines from movies, and they would have to create all their rhymes based off of lines from movies and books. And every single time a line came up, in the corner was the source where it came from, like Star Wars, but it would be in the Star Wars font, right? It would be in like the Glengarry Glen Ross font, right? That's like how we would reference it. And at the end, all the sources would be cited in the video. And the hook was cite your sources like a freaking adult. And that was the hook. And their flow was great. And at the end, all the sources are there. We cite them, and that's the video. And it hit under a minute. And that was one for the U of A that went viral. So we followed all the rules: create strong characters, have a clear message, have a strong leader. Right? Allow the people to be free to play. Don't worry about the length. If the video went 2 minutes, it would have been fine. And for us, that's a video we're really proud of right now. Like, these are best practices for me, and they worked. But at the end of the day, everything I've learned through improv and making films is that if I wanted to make video, whether it's like a 6-second Vine or a 3 or 4 minute video I grabbed with my camera, we just did it. Like, we just wanted to do it. I'm sure from all the creativity in this room, people in this room have ideas for videos that you want to make and you want to do for your organizations, for your businesses, or just for yourself. I think it's great when people just like, vlogs are really big right now. Like girls do like the fashion vlogs, right? I love when people post that on my Facebook because I'm like, I love liking them. I love when people take the risk of doing that. I like to see that progression. Go out there and do that risk. Just do it, okay? That's my best advice. If you want to make online video content to share on Facebook and Twitter or share with your friends, just go out and do it. Thank you for having me, guys. Cool. All adrenaline. I did it without the videos. And oh, FYI, my wife is like 39 weeks pregnant right now, and like the whole week I'm like, don't give birth today. Don't come out. It would look so. I go, speak. Don't come out. Stay in there. I'll buy you candy and a big wheels. But do we do questions now? Is that what we do? Yeah. So I'll open up the floor to any questions you guys might have for Holly. Yeah. What's your name, first off?
I'm Natalie Green.
Natalie Green, nice to meet you.
So you were talking about Synovus and your work on their employee videos. So a lot of the work I do is with executives and CEOs who need to talk to their employees. So sometimes you have to sell to them that you want to bring in a character, someone who can play, but a lot of the time it's more authentic if they're the ones in the video. So do you have any tips for coaching some of these people to play more? Because a lot of them are talking heads that are really boring.
I think if you, like, for me, like, this is like a personal thing as well, but I think if you are going to be working with these executives and CEOs, arrange for like an improv instructor to come in for a couple hours and work with the group. So if you know you have to do a big run of videos, do that. Like the UFC did a really cool thing. They brought us in to work with a bunch of professors. And these are professors that had expressed interest in being more loose in their presentations and being a better speaker. And we went in and we just played with them. We just messed with their heads. That was a great feeling, to go in and mess with professors, because they're really like uptight and stiff. But like for me, like I think that if the person speaking on camera is really stiff and you have an opportunity to work with them even more, then do that. Yeah. That's what I would do. Bring in someone, have them work with them for a little bit. And I think that someone in that position might welcome it.
That's good.
Right?
Thanks.
Yeah.
Mike.
Hello. Mike's blogging blog. You're a big. So when Mike tweeted that he was coming, I got so nervous. So nervous.
You're great. You're doing wonderful. What are your favorite like apps or software that people starting like vlogs and things like that?
Yeah, iMovie before they put it on the new Macs, because the new iMovie's terrible. If you have a Mac from like 2007 to 2011, that iMovie's really good because I think it's like basic enough that has enough features. So like I use iMovie for if I'm just doing like a speaking vlog. Like my wife does like fashion vlogs, and she'll like do beauty tips and like makeup and like what's in my bag. Right? You guys know what I'm talking about, ladies. You guys know what I'm talking about, right? What's in my bag? Fashion haul, Target haul, yeah. So like. All you need to do is upload a clip and put a transition from the beginning to end. That's really easy. The new iMovie's terrible. It's not great. So if you can find an old version of iMovie, they're available on Amazon, or if you just look on Kijiji, or I don't know where. I think Amazon's the best place. If you find an old version of iLife, anything before 11 is great. An old version of Final Cut is also really great. But the new Final Cut's $2.99 in the App Store, and it really is very good. I don't know if they still do it, but Westworld Computers used to offer free classes for iMovie, and they would offer paid classes for Final Cut. Just check out their website. That's how I trained all the Youth Central staff to know how to edit videos. I would send them to free workshops at Westworld Computers, and the only prerequisite was you had to have bought your computer there, and then we just didn't, and just went. And, it's $50 now? I'm sure there's a way around it. I've learned there's always if you're from a nonprofit, there's always a way around it, right? But yeah, those are the stuff. And then the common question, I think a question I get asked is like cameras. I don't think you need a big, giant camera. I don't think you need an expensive camera. Honestly, DSLR, so like I use a T2i, which is like the entry-level camera, which shoots amazing HD. It's now a T5i, like that's just like the progression of model maybe, or T4i? T4i? Yeah, and they're like $600, maybe $900 with the lens. Get your business or organization to pony up for one. Youth Central bought one, and we use it all the time for our videos, and it's great. It's really cheap. It uses SD cards, it's easy to use, and if you buy it from the camera store, they give you a DVD on how to use it. And once again, we made all the staff watch that DVD. It's really boring, but then you know that camera inside and out. Yeah. Any other questions?
Guys, you're way back here.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Sorry. What's your name?
Dan.
Dan?
What surprised you most about your audience?
What surprises me most about my audience?
Yeah.
Today or in general?
In general.
And
And today, I'm always surprised how far people will go with me, like with comedy. I've always maybe it's the Youth Central side because I always, when I'm presenting in schools, I have to be appropriate. I can't swear or anything, right? But I'm always impressed that sometimes we'll throw a joke in or a comment, or if I'm performing in front of a show, how far they will go and what they will actually get. I think that adults and people are these creatures that you want to laugh, you want to have fun, and that's something I learned. People want to have a good time, and if the internet has shown us anything, and cat videos and Double Rainbow, it's showed us anything. People want to laugh. People want to laugh at content. They want to laugh at themselves. When Jimmy Kimmel did that when he tricked us out with the girl twerking and she fell into the candles. In my mind, I was for a second, are people gonna get mad? And then I'm no. It just shows how stupid we are. And he proved that point. We're gonna laugh at ourselves. So I think people want to just laugh and be happy. And that's early on that really surprised me that how far they would go with me on that joke.
Hey, Andrew.
Yeah. Oh, voice.
Michael.
Yeah. Michael. Sorry.
So can you show us finally the video and play sound as 100 years ago when the sound and video was not connected?
Can I
You play
Right now.
without the sound.
can I play the video without the sound?
No, with your sound.
With my sound?
Yeah, speaking.
You want me to narrate the videos? Sure, okay, what do you want to watch? I'll give you a choice. McNetwork, cite your sources, what do you guys want to do? The rap? Okay. The rap without the audio. Okay. Could be not impressive, but okay.
McNetwork sounds good too, though. The microphone?
We tried that. It doesn't work great. Yeah. I'll put the audio as high as it can go.
Put your microphone up.
Let's see if it works.
Can you just rap it along?
Oh, because it's not me rap. Hey, that's not me rap. I'm from the Northeast, but I don't rap. That's a stereotype. Come on here. Oh. Wrong one. Sorry. Wrong one. Sorry.
Oh, you like coffee? Well, coffee's for closers. The power of the force has stopped you hosers. And I'll wake up sober, but you'll still be lazy. I'm a neurotic nut, but you're crazy. I mean what I say what I mean. And I'm invincible as the city that witnessed dreaming a dream. But now I need to come clean like Mr. Because as you know, everyone is a little bitter. A little, cause they won't amount to Jack squat. I am Jack's laptop. Jack is such a dull boy. Change yourself, Tolstoy. You're looking sketchy like the kids in the hall. You're killing me, Smalls, and I'm large. Shelley Duvall, like I'm ready to fall. So you better call Saul. Got 99 problems, I'm forgetting them all. And if I could, I would always work in silence and obscurity. But whether or not I knew it could be anyone's call. So, Psychosource is like a freaking adult. Haha. Psychosource is like a freaking adult. Psychosource is like a freaking adult. Haha. Psychosources.
Those guys did it in 3 takes. So we wrote it together, we put it all together, we figured it out, cited it properly, and we brought them into the U of A, we booked out a whole room, and they finished it 3 takes, all perfect takes. It was really easy, and I don't honestly, if we had iMovie, we would have just clipped the beginning and end, and I think we used the audio from their live session. We just boom mic'd them. And then put the beat underneath. So yeah, Cite Your Source is one of the ones. And that's what happens when you let someone just pitch it. When you let the creative agency be this is the idea we have. They're cool, we'll go along with it, and it just worked out really well. So yeah, that's Cite Your Sources, and I'll put up the other ones on my Twitter as well. Are there any other questions, guys? Awesome. Twitter @AndrewPhung, website andrewphung.com. I just want to give a shout out to all these amazing, hardworking people for inviting me to come out and dealing with all the problems this morning. I had a great time. Did you guys have a great time?
Thank you so much. I guess we're gonna have speaker problems the day you have improv, guys, the day to do it. The video is gonna be amazing, so we'll look forward to the link. I think we'll all be watching that. Just a huge shout out again to Wurst. Now, do we still have, we've got Twitter handles up, so we'll put a slide up. So a big shout out to Wurst for hosting and for the breakfast sponsors today, for Sean and Eric. Just want to say thanks to them again, okay? I realize that not for those of you that don't know who I am, actually I was supposed to introduce myself. I'm Donna McTeague on Twitter, Donna McTaggart, and it's wonderful to have you guys here today. Just want to mention the next event. So it's going to be for sure on March 28th. We will release information sometime within 10 days before that event and make the RSVP available. Okay, so thank you again for coming. Really appreciate your support to these events. We need sponsors to make them happen, and we need you to enjoy them. So thanks for coming.
Thank you.